$1,304 flat Social Security benefit for everyone. I have all the details for you here in the video. Let's get right into it. Now, first off, how would you feel about a flat Social Security benefit of $1,304 for everybody? Do you like that idea, or do you think it's a pretty bad one? Depends on how you look at it, because if your benefit is above that threshold, you would think, that's a terrible idea. But if your benefit is below that threshold, you would think, yeah, that sounds really, really nice to me. I totally agree. Let's do it. Well, there's actually a couple different iterations of this plan and this idea that is out there right now, which is why I want to bring it to your attention, because like I just said there a second ago, I agree with you. For some people, yes, this would be a very, very, very good thing and a great idea. For other people, maybe not so much, right? Well, exactly. Let's talk about the details of this, because this is a metric that changes every year, and there are proposals and ideas and concepts out there to implement such a thing as well. And I think it's probably a pretty good idea to do this, at least for some beneficiaries. Everybody? No, absolutely not. That would not be a good thing. However, there are other concepts as well as, okay, if we're going to do this, then how? How are we going to implement such a thing? Well, that's exactly what I want to share with you. Okay, let's talk through the details really quickly. Now, the $1,304, what is that? You probably heard me talk about that before in other videos. Let me share with you really quickly. It is the federal poverty line on a monthly basis here in 2025, okay? That's the federal poverty line divided by 12 months, and that's what it comes out to be, is $1,304 on a monthly basis, okay? Now, how does that pertain to fixed income benefits, and what's this whole discussion of a flat benefit for everybody? Let me explain the situation here, and again, where they are discussing, hey, we get the money to do this. Okay, so right now in 2025, the maximum benefit is $5,108. That's the maximum that somebody can get right now in 2025. That's a lot. $5,108? I mean, that's $60 plus thousand a year. It's a lot of money to be paid from Social Security every month or every year, right? That's a lot. That's right now. Okay, so a couple different iterations. Number one would be just to straight up raise benefits, put a minimum floor in the Social Security program that basically states all beneficiaries must receive a federal poverty line or greater benefit. I like that idea. Put a floor in benefits that basically says all beneficiaries must receive a benefit of at least equal to or above the federal poverty line. Again, $1,304 a month. I like that. I think that's a logical, a common sense plan. I don't know. For anybody sitting here saying, oh no, I think people should be getting $600 or $400 or $750 or $900. Okay, fine. I guess if they have, $4,000 of other income aside from their monthly benefit, then fine, maybe that works, okay? But if somebody's getting a benefit, $400, $600, $700, $900, $1,000, something like that, I would guess that other income aside from their monthly benefit is probably very minimal. That's just my anticipation. I could be wrong about that, but that's just my anticipation, right? The point is, if they were to implement a floor in benefits at least 100% of the federal poverty line or better, that would be very, very influential, very, very helpful for a lot of people that are getting benefits. And I think many of you getting a benefit below that threshold would be thinking, yeah, that would be super nice. That'd help me out a ton right now. And again, that'd be very nice. Okay, so that's one iteration. Now, the next iteration would be same concept, raise benefits to at least the federal poverty line for all beneficiaries, a minimum benefit of at least the federal poverty line equal to. But then the question is, okay, how do we pay for that? Well, then this is where the discussion comes in. Because remember a minute ago, I said the maximum benefit right now in 2025 is $5,108. That's what it is, okay? Well, they've also been keeping their eyes on these individuals as well. And they say, hey, we could take benefits from higher income people and shuffle it over to boost benefits for lower income beneficiaries to ultimately raise their benefit to at least 100% of the federal poverty line. Now, obviously, this would take some shuffling of money. This would take some time to implement, some time to be established, but ultimately, it easily could be done. Now, higher income beneficiaries would probably think, no, please don't touch my benefit. I earned it and, it's my benefit, stuff like that. I mean, that's the thing. It doesn't matter if somebody's getting $25 a month or $5,000 a month, we're all kind of protective about our benefit a little bit, right? We earned it. It's our money. Don't touch it. It's ours. You know what I mean? So that's okay. If somebody's a little bit protective about it, no problem whatsoever. But this is the discussion, is that we could easily do this approach, but we need to have a pay for it, right? You hear this with lawmakers all the time. Who's going to pay for it? What's the pay for with this idea, this concept, this proposal, this bill, this package, whatever? Okay, so that's kind of the situation. Now, how would they do it? It kind of depends. The situation could be eliminating the COLA for higher income beneficiaries and then basically shuffling that money over to the lower income beneficiaries to ultimately boost their benefit. Another part of that could be is having like a negative COLA on higher income beneficiaries. How would that work? How it would work is basically higher income people that are getting benefits of, say, $3,000, $2,500, whatever the threshold would be, probably more like $3,000 or more dollars a month. There could possibly be like this integrated negative COLA. So the higher the benefit goes, the bigger that the draw is, right? So rather than having a COLA boost through the benefit, they would have basically a negative COLA, or like a reduction of their benefit by a little bit. It can maybe be like 1%, 2%, 1.5%, 2.5%, 3.5%, something like that. And it gradually gets bigger and bigger, this negative COLA, the higher that somebody's benefit gets, and maybe tops out at, say, something like 3.5% or 4% or 5%, whatever it is, for the highest income beneficiaries. And then the whole idea of that would be, again, shuffling that money over to lower income beneficiaries. Does that kind of make sense? Now, this would be a long-term plan. This is not something that'd be implemented and all of a sudden take shape and all of a sudden everybody's getting a poverty line benefit or better in just 1 year. No, this would be a long-term approach. It would take many years in some instances, it would take like 10 years, 15 years to implement this whole thing and ultimately raise the benefits for the lower income people through the annual cost of living adjustment, more generous bumps there to benefits, as well as this adjustment to higher benefits with this negative COLA, and then taking those funds and shuffling it over again to the lower income people. So obviously it would just be a matter of not necessarily more or less money being paid out from Social Security, but it's a redistribution of money from the highest income beneficiaries over to the lowest income beneficiaries to ultimately boost the beneficiaries up to at least that 100% of the federal poverty line. Now, obviously, every year the federal poverty line also changes. So this year for 2025, it's $1,304 a month. Okay, but if this is something that's going to take, say, 10 years to implement, as in to do the full exchange with the boosted COLA and the boosted benefit and the negative COLA on the higher income beneficiaries, if it takes 10 years, again, I'm just saying 10 years, maybe it's 11.5 or 12.7 or whatever. I'm just saying 10 years. Let's just say it's a 10-year plan to do this. Okay. If it takes that 10-year period of time, during that time frame as well, the federal poverty line will also continue to increase. Therefore, it's kind of like a little bit of a moving target that they would need to go after and continue to adjust for appropriately each year. But then at the same time, the maximum benefit for beneficiaries typically continues to rise. However, if they start implementing this so-called negative COLA, where they're shaving down higher income beneficiaries' benefits and then shuffling it over to the lower income beneficiaries, there'd no longer be that COLA there as well. So essentially benefits would be somewhat capped out. Now, would that be a bad or good thing? I don't know. Depends on how you look at it, because right now, as I said, the maximum benefit is $5,108. That's over $60,000 a year that somebody is getting from Social Security. In fact, it's about $63,000 a year, roughly. That's a lot of money that somebody's getting. So we could sit here and talk about it and discuss and debate and argue and say, well, what is the cap? What should the cap be? Should someone really be getting over 60 grand a year from Social Security? I don't know. Again, what's the right answer here? Everybody's going to have their own opinions about this. Not really sure what the right answer is, but at some point, I think we're going to get to the threshold where everybody's going to say, okay, we got to back off a little bit. That's too much to be paying one person from Social Security. What's that threshold? Is it 60? Is it 65? Is it 70? Is it 75? Do we finally get to that threshold when we sit at $100,000? I mean, it's going to be years before we get there, but there will be a day, as benefits do continue to increase, there will be a day, it's going to be way out in the future at the current pace we're going, but there will be a day when all of a sudden the maximum benefit will be 100 grand a year. You know what I'm saying? So there will be a day that comes. It's going to be a very long time, but my point is, that will come because benefits continue to rise every single year. So my point is, what is the best approach here? And then at the same time, how many millions of beneficiaries do we have currently sitting below the federal poverty line? And how long do we let that to continue where it's like, okay, we've had this program for basically 90 years that's been in place here. 2025, by the way, is the 90th birthday of Social Security. Okay, so how long do we sit here and wait and say, okay, fine, we'll let all these people struggle on, fixed income benefits forever, not a problem? Or do they at some point say, hey, the program's been around for 90 years. We should probably revise the program a little bit and adjust these benefits and make sure that there's at least a federal poverty line or better benefit established for those individuals. Now, obviously, there may be some exceptions to the rule, but essentially, that's just what this whole discussion is about, right? So, or the other thing is too, they leave Social Security, they do absolutely nothing with the program and let the thing drive itself into a ditch, because that's literally where it's going at this point. If they do nothing to the program, we will see massive cuts to benefits with no party affiliation. Again, no, nothing there. This is automatic. This has nothing to do with any specific person or party or lawmakers. This is if nothing is done to Social Security whatsoever in the next, call it 7 to 10 years, if nothing is done whatsoever to the program, we will see an automatic 17 to 30+% increase to benefits, somewhere between that range, depending on a variety of factors. Do they combine the trust funds? Do they increase taxes? Do they raise the full retirement age? Do they do anything? If they do nothing, then we see a cut to benefits automatically. No matter what, it'll happen. So anyway, take your pick. What do we want? An automatic cut with no changes whatsoever? Or do we want to maybe come in, intervene, and possibly save the program and possibly, spruce up benefits a little bit for those people that really need it and find some pay-fors along the way? Who knows? What's the right answer, right? There's a million proposals that are out there. I'll keep you posted on all of them. I hope this helps you to some degree. Again, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. I'm watching the details. I'm watching the headlines. I'm pointing everything out here in the videos and just doing whatever I possibly can to make sure that you're staying tuned with what's going on, as well as taking advantage of programs, increasing income, increasing benefits, proposals, bills, packages, legislation, anything that's out there that impact your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, anything like that. Of course, I want to bring it to your attention here in these videos as well. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If I can ask a huge, huge favor of you, please subscribe to the channel. It is 100% free to do so. There's a big subscribe button right down below. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Make sure to hit that. Thank you so much. Also, if you can think of 1 or 2 people that benefit from this video here, or any of the other thousands of videos on the channel, will you please make sure to share this video with them? There's a share button right down below as well. Thank you. I really, really, really appreciate that. Thanks so much for your support. Otherwise, check out the other 5,000 plus videos here on the channel, the thousands and thousands of videos in the video library. The popular videos I've hand selected for you down below in the description or the top of the comment section, or right now popping up on your screen as well. You'll see some videos there. Thank you so much. I hope you can have a nice day. Check out one of those videos. Otherwise, I really hope I can see you again soon in the next video. Thank you once again for your watching and for your support.